New economic numbers were released minutes ago, and they are not good for unemployment, suggesting even more reason to extend FPUC come late July. Hey everybody, this is LALATE with a second stimulus check and stimulus package update for today. This one's about FPUC, that $600 from the federal government, which expires in late July. Unemployment benefits and PUA. We have big news, great exciting news, and some shocking details about new unemployment numbers coming out minutes ago. I have a lot I'm going to cover, and I'm including also what's happening in Florida with their unemployment systems in a new report released today. Let's get right to the news. First of all, new report out today, as always, the Thursday unemployment numbers. As you know, the unemployment numbers are released every Thursday, and they're not good. It shows that, again, unemployment numbers were up over 1 million new applicants nationwide. This is the worst number since the Great Recession of the 1990s. The numbers continue to be staggering. Millions and millions of new jobless claims being filed with unemployment offices on a weekly basis. We're at, I think it's like the 17th consecutive week at the moment. So what does this mean? It says that more people are becoming unemployed than employed. There's a lot of economic data that was released today. It talked about retail sales, talked about home sales, but that is not what's guiding the overriding factor of determining whether to extend FPUC, that's $600 from the federal government. Earlier this week, we delivered great news, which was coming from Mitch McConnell, who has been playing the bluff game about the FPUC. He initially said it's never going to be extended. Now he's flopping, and he's saying it will be extended, but perhaps at a lower amount of money. Steve Mnuchin as well has not ruled out the extension of FPUC, but has said he doesn't want people to get rich on it. Well, what does rich mean? Here we go at it. Let me go over the detail. $600 from the federal government is given on top of your normal UI and PUA benefits. So if your UI or PUA benefits is $167 per week, the $600 goes on top of it. The lowest amount you would ever receive is about $767. So about $167 plus $600, $767. Steve Mnuchin, certainly Larry Kudlow, who I can't stand, were both running the storyline last week that some people are staying at home because they don't want to work. Not true. And that they were collecting unemployment benefits because they're making more money than when they were at work. And they were doing that based upon a single report released 2 weeks ago that said 40% of people it said, 2/3 of people who receive unemployment benefits are getting more money on unemployment because of the $600 of FPUC than they were receiving when employed. I called bluff on the report. I don't believe the report is accurate, and I don't think the report does correct analysis on the numbers, because the report suddenly said, well, if we take the $600 per week and we reduce it to, let's say, $400 or $300 a week, suddenly we solve almost 60% of the problem. The numbers don't line up. They literally don't line up. But I want to tell you where we're going come next week. When press gets Mitch McConnell or Steve Mnuchin in a corner anytime this week, and yes, they're available for comment, they always ask them about this. This is the number one issue they always ask them about. They don't ask them about the check because they know the second stimulus check is coming. They don't ask them about hazard pay. I don't think press knows of what hazard pay is. They don't ask them about renter's assistance. They ask them about FPUC. They always ask that as number one question. And the current language coming out of Mnuchin and McConnell is that, well, we do need to help people, but we need to help people who are hardest hit. So that suggests that they will extend FPUC, but where and how, we don't know. The Democrats, as you know, proposed to extend FPUC as it is at $600 per hour, $600 per week, all the way into 2021. What leading economists have been saying all this week is that $600 may not actually be even enough, that they may need to pay people more than $600, and that calling for reduction of FPUC could be catastrophic. There is new data today coming out left and right about unemployment. Let me get right to it as well. First of all, Florida. If you're new to this channel, when we were detailing FPUC and PUA when it first went live, we had viewers who were telling us which states were not paying a penny. They literally were not paying a penny. That applications were backlogged. Florida was the poster child. And that was the expression I used at the time. Well, a new report today says Florida is the poster child of a bad mismanagement of FPUC and PUA and UI. That viewers are simply not, citizens are not getting money. Now, viewers like Eileen, who I remember dearly, she never got her benefits for weeks and weeks and weeks. And I would detail her on the Q&A on a daily basis. Finally, when we came into, I think it was early July, she got all her payments, but she kept on certifying on a weekly basis. And guess what? She got a deposit of about $8,000. It's great news. She kept on certifying on a weekly basis because she was impacted on a weekly basis, and so that all added up. 600 plus 167 or 190. I don't know what Florida's base level UI or PUA is, but times that by 10, that's about $8,000. Bam, 10 weeks. Now, I have other viewers in this channel who have been certifying for unemployment benefits in Texas since March. Well, we're almost at 15 weeks, and they are waiting for that money to drop. So it's a lot of money. This is great news. A lot of you focus on the second stimulus check, and I can understand that. But some of you have been laid off or cannot find work or qualify for UI or PUA. So I want you to be informed about this big hunk of money. You could be entitled to thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars. But in this new report today, it says, get your act together, Florida. It just says Florida's a hot mess. It says that Florida today is announcing that they're cutting the number of people processing unemployment claims. Like they got it done right in the first place? Come on, Florida. I don't know how Florida doesn't need more people, says Linda Stewart, a Florida senator. Our unemployment rate is going up, not decreasing. Very well said. The state has done somewhat of a good job of paying people, but for every 1,000 that get their money paid out, we have another 1,000 furloughed or laid out. Poster child. She calls her state's own unemployment payment system a poster child of a mess. You know, it's bad when your senators say it about her own state. It says, well, let's ask what Florida thinks of themselves. The Department of Economic Opportunity, which is, I guess, their unemployment office, portrays themselves as not that bad after all. They say, well, we've only not paid out 3% of applicants. I don't buy that number as well. Based upon the number of viewers who are still on a daily basis complaining about not getting payments from Florida, I think it's a lot more than 3%. But Florida has been the poster child of poor state administration early in this process, says a researcher at Upjohn Institute for Employment Research. Next, the jobless claims. The new jobless numbers came out today, and you know what I didn't even have to look them up. I mean, you already knew what they were going to be. They're bad. I mean, they're bad. They're bad. They continually be bad. Every single week that we've done this channel, come Thursday, the report comes out, and it's always the same number. It's over 1 million new jobless claims. Now, Stevie and Mitch can do all the song, dance, and rain mastering games that they want to play and play Parcheesi or Twister on the floor as much as they want, but ultimately the numbers are the numbers. They show unemployment claims, new unemployment claims. This report every Thursday is new unemployment claims of over 1 million. I mean, it's insane. It's so bad, the number, that who cares about everything else? Now, Luke Tilley, who's an economist at Wilman Trust, was asked about what's going on in retail sales. Well, who cares? I mean, retail sales means nothing about unemployment numbers. While we see a V perfectly drawn in retail sales, we're now concerned about is temporary firing and hiring is masking an underlying recessionary dynamic that was put in motion in March and April. So, I mean, he's basically saying, who cares that maybe retail has picked up well or that home sales has picked up well? That has nothing to do with unemployment numbers. If you look, so here's Diane Swank, who's the chief economist at Grant Thornton. Boy, I want you to listen to her numbers because her numbers are just incredible. If you look at the unemployment claims and the adjusted numbers, they are staggering for California, Georgia, Nevada, Florida, and Arizona, all the hot spots. The June 11th week change in Florida was 62,467 unadjusted. That's huge. This is her words. I'm quoting her. It was another 22,941 of an already high claim level in California. We're at the 17th week now, and I thought it was the 16th. Okay, it's the 17th week of 1 million new unemployment claims since this pandemic started. Come on, Stevie. Come on, Mitch. You can't say we're not going to extend FPUC. It would be political suicide. It's the most ridiculous thing a politician could ever say. That say, oh no, everyone's back at work. No one has lost their job. Yeah, you would look like a fool. You would absolutely look like a fool. Our view is you have two things going on. One, this is Tilly continuing. One of them is the resurgence of the virus in different places are going to affect the operations. You also have in the background a recessionary dynamic where people are losing their jobs and companies are cutting back on CapEx. You have those ripple effects. It's just incredible. Tilly says you have 32 million people collecting unemployment in one form or another. 32 people are getting an extra $2,400 a month. That's $80 billion a month. That's 15% of retail sales. This is completely understandable given the pandemic. We're worried we're going to see an ephemeral boost from the government stimulus. Retail sales would definitely help by the stimulus. Some are waning it, but it's going to go away and the clock is ticking. It's a clicking time bomb with many of the states going to get hit very badly. A lot of activity we saw in the last 2 months is very fleeting. Yesterday California announced another number, and it was not unemployment numbers. You know which number it is. New COVID cases, 11,000. The worst single day new number of COVID cases in California history. It's just out of control. It's out of control. So that's 11,000 more people that just became unemployed yesterday. I mean, that's on a daily basis. I mean, these numbers don't lie. There's no way to make up these numbers. So if you are members of Congress and you're saying back and you say, what can I do to not extend FPUC? First of all, I don't know why they have this mantra of saying welfare state, everyone wants to stay home and get rich off the government. You're going to get rich bitch off of, I say rich bitch, what am I, Atlanta Housewives, that you're going to get rich off of $700 a week. I mean, no one's getting rich off of $700 a week, Steve. No one is getting rich off of $700 a week. And if you say that people are, at $700 a week are making a lot more than they were when they were normally employed, well, that's not true. And you know what's not true is that Steve Mnuchin and Larry Kudlow and Mitch McConnell keep on looking at new job reports. What's wrong about that, ultimately, is new job reports don't ask if the job is permanent, temporary, or long-lasting. So, for example, if you get sent out by a temp agency and go, work for 2 hours yesterday, it's registered as a new job. Well, that's only 2 hours you work. And so Steve Mnuchin and Larry Kudlow say, hey, he worked for 2 hours. He got a new job. He shouldn't stay at home and collect our benefits. Yeah, he should. Yeah, he still needs help, folks, because he only got 2 hours of work. That's not a job. That's not going to pay the rent. Next, let me go over a new report today. This other report talks about a delay that I have been talking about and a timeline at issue with FPUC. As you know, FPUC expires somewhere in July. As you also know, I've detailed when a second stimulus package will likely get approved after that, around August 7th or August 8th. I've also said that there's a ramp-up time to getting funds sent out and getting funds dispersed. I've always said that if we're talking about FPUC, $600 from the federal government, it's coming from the federal government. It doesn't land there, overnight. It takes a couple of weeks. So even if we have a complete approval of FPUC come August 7th or August 8th, people are going to not get anything from late July until, potentially middle August. That's what this new report says. If Congress doesn't act to extend those benefits by the deadline of July 25th or 26th, experts say it could take several weeks to reauthorize any new aid that comes out of the relief package. I mean, I've been saying this for weeks. Now press, national news is now realizing the problem. What's going on is going to happen on July 25th, says Michelle Evermore, Senior Policy and Analyst at the National Employment Law Project. She says states will stop paying the $600 come July 25th or July 26th. I've explained it could be earlier. If you watched our video about 2 weeks ago, I said that the day that some states don't pay, to the day, they pay per the week, and depends on where their weekly benefits run out, and that a lot of states are actually going to not pay the week before. Michelle Evermore added that they will have to turn their function off in their computer system. Yes, absolutely true. To get it started back up again, it may take a while to reprogram. I've been told that even some states with modernized systems, it could take weeks to get the system to work. Okay, I haven't even covered that one yet. I mean, that's another wrinkle. I haven't even covered the fact that if you take something out of a computer system and put it back in, you got to reprogram this. Oh my goodness. I mean, when I talked about PUA before it went live, I was talking about for weeks. So if PUA and FPUC go away on July 25th or July 26th, and are erased from computer systems and state unemployment offices, okay, how do they get back into the computer systems come mid-August or early August if the programs are approved by Act of Congress? That's what Michelle's worried about. Mitch McConnell said Monday that the discussions about the next coronavirus bill are coming to a head sometime in the next 3 weeks, beginning next week. No. Mitch and your group and Nancy and her group are on vacation. So, yeah, they're going to start talking to press. They're going to start doing roadshows as I've detailed. They're going to release to press their stimulus packages. Then they're going to start talking about it. But they're not going to talk about them in Congress because they're on vacation. If Congress passes a new package next week, it's far more likely that they'll get the continued benefit more fluid without interruption. I don't know what Michelle is referring to. Congress is not in session next week. That's a very crazy quote. Edgar Najuna, the executive director of Workplace Fairness, says, my concern is that Congress knew this expiration was coming. They passed the bills themselves. This is finding it hard to believe that it has to take more time. It's important that Congress take swifter action to extend the benefits for another duration of the time and extra protection for workers. It's disturbing the rise in cases. Workers are more apprehensive of going back to work. In some industries, they have no choice. So, I mean, he's saying what I'm saying. You knew the bill was going to expire in July. You knew that FPUC was going to expire along July 25th or July 26th. So why did you schedule a vacation then? Why did you schedule a vacation to occur or pass a bill to occur while you're on vacation? You can say it either way. Why did you book your vacation while a bill is expiring for something so important as this? Or on the other hand, when you wrote the bill, why did you have the program expire while you're on vacation? You mean to tell me that no one in both houses of Congress saw that? I don't believe it. I think they knew exactly what they were doing, and it's quite disgusting. If you have questions in today's video, drop them in the comments below. We're always trying to keep you motivated, inspired, and positive. I'm not positive about how, I'm really quite angry about how they did make FPUC expire on July 25th. They could have had it expire in early July or late June. They could have had it expire in August, but why have it expire when everyone's out of session from Congress? Drop your comments. I want to hear them. I want to see what you're going to say. Keep it clean. No cursing, please. As always, like and subscribe to this video. Keep it positive, keep it motivated, and keep on smiling. And stay with LA for more.